Okay, here I am. I'm going to croak my way through today's live session. I've got a bit of a sore throat, but don't hesitate to ask questions. So I'm hopping on today to talk about snake avoidance. It occurs to me that some people are going to say, what's that? So if you haven't heard of it, basically it is what it says. In the context of dogs, obviously, because I am a dog trainer. Snake avoidance is just training that teaches your dog to avoid snakes. So this covers quite a few different techniques and methods out there. But basically, it's just training that teaches your dog to avoid snakes. That's all it is. So snake avoidance training, I will be running fear-free snake avoidance training very soon. Basically, who's this for? If you haven't come across it before, then you might not know. If you have come across it before, you already know, because it's probably you or someone you know. So generally, if you want to teach your dog to avoid snakes as a priority, you probably own some property with some bush on it, probably, or some rural property. Alternatively, you are an outdoorsy person and you like to take your dogs out on bushwalks, or you go out in the sticks and you go camping. And that is where you will encounter snakes. Now, you can also encounter snakes in the middle of suburbia because we have got such a lovely mosaic of bushland and reserves and suburbs and city. We actually have quite a bit of wildlife habitat around us, and that supports viable ecosystems for snakes. So they are native animals here. And you can encounter them when you're out in a park with a dog. So there are a lot of volunteer snake catchers and guys who run businesses who actually relocate the poor little wrigglies, hopefully before there's any conflicts. So obviously, if you're an outdoorsy person and you've got a dog who likes to poke things, snake avoidance might be a very good option for you to keep everyone safe. So if you've got any comments or any questions, do write something in the comments section and I will happily answer questions while I'm here. Alternatively, if you have got the recording, you can actually send me questions and I'll still answer them, or better still just give me a call. So we've got this snake avoidance thing, and one of the things possibly that's on your mind is well, why am I running it? Obviously, the reason that anybody does snake avoidance programs is it's a matter of life and death. It really is. Anyone who's gone through the absolute trauma and horror of having their dog bitten by a venomous snake, or a human family member for that matter, it's terrifying. You don't know if they're going to make it or not. A lot of dogs get killed by snakes every year. Generally, it's because the dogs try to pick the snake up and use it as a chew toy. So you can't really blame the snake. So the really good option there is to prevent that from happening in the first place by training the dog. So that's the basic concept behind it. The reason that I am getting into this area with my dog training business now is that I'm actually still finishing off a snake avoidance training program. It's an internationally well-known trainer who has got years of experience in teaching snake avoidance to dogs on ranches in the United States and other places. And he uses fear-free reward-based training methods. Neither the snakes nor the dogs are traumatized in the training process. So that is a big departure from the most common types of snake avoidance training that is out there. So that's one of the big reasons I'm getting into it, is I want to make sure that there is a training option available to people who do not want to run the risk of having a lot of fallout from a traumatized dog. Also, I want to make sure that the quality of the training is good. A lot of training that is out there at the moment is bang, we're done, 2 locations, 3 locations, we're done. And that, in any form of training with any animal, if you only teach something in 1 or 2 locations, your chances of it working in location 4 or 5 are limited. So this is a proper training course where your behavior that you're teaching your dog is going to be generalized right from the very start to many different places, contexts, situations, distractions. That is built into this course. So both the one that I am taking and the one that I will run are going to include those as foundational elements. So that's a bit of a rant from me, but that's the sort of thing that you can expect if you join us, is lots of different places to practice in. So this is not a course for someone who just wants to get something done quickly, if not well. This is a course for those of us who are committed to working with our dogs on an ongoing basis, just to maintain their usual good behaviour and to get the best out of them. You know, this is the fun stuff. We get to work with our dogs. That's one reason you get a dog. They've got a brain and they want to learn and they want to do stuff with you. So snake avoidance training can actually be a lot of fun. One component is teaching a dog to come when they're called. You know, this is a big piece that we're going to include in the course for you guys. So well worth doing just for that, I think. So if you are interested in having a chat to me or finding out more, do catch us. I've got another live coming up on Sunday at noon. That's this Sunday, the 18th of September. Yep. And Colleen's just chiming in. Anyone who's out back living or camping, absolutely. Definitely, if you're 1,000 kilometres from the nearest vet and your dog gets bitten by a snake, that's going to be a problem. You really, really want to avoid that. So definitely, if you're remote, you're planning to be remote with the dog, absolutely, you've got to have some way of ensuring that your dog is snake aware, that they're not going to approach and get into a bad situation. The other possibility here is if you're out with kids who like to leap through the bush. If your dog knows how to indicate to you that there is a snake, you can get your kids out of that area before they go crashing through. Now, most snakes will try and get out of the way, but they're not that fast. So if you move quickly enough, you have got the potential of surprising them or cornering them. So dogs are very great at finding things before humans do. So your dog's going to be very helpful at keeping you guys safe as well. Okay, so I would absolutely recommend that you get in touch with me if you've got any questions. Otherwise, join me on my Sunday live session. Have fun out there this weekend with your dogs, but do make sure your dogs don't go ploughing through the bush unless they already have very good snake avoidance training. All right, thank you, and thank you. I will see you again soon on Facebook or wherever you are. Thanks for stopping by.